Guten Tag, meine Freunde. Willkommen to next stage in my adventures learning German with Duolingo. So for this video, we're going to look at these two, basics 2 and phrases. So let's take a look at the notes that are involved in basics 2, if there is any. Of course there is. So, German plurals are also strange. So, in English, making plurals out of singular nouns is typically as straightforward as adding s or es at the end of a word. In German, the transformation is more complex. You will learn details about this in a later lesson. Excuse me. In some languages, such as French and Spanish, genders are also differentiated in the plural. In German, the plural form does not depend on what the gender is, what gender the singular form is. So in some cases, the plural form is considered like another gender, like grammatical gender. Regardless of grammatical gender, all plural nouns take the definite article D. You will later learn how cases can modify this, giving you more advanced warning about grammatical cases. This does not make them feminine. The grammatical gender of a word never changes. Like many other words, D is simply used for multiple purposes. Just like in English, there is no plural indefinite article. So you can say a man, ein man. You can't say amen. Well, you can say amen at the end of a prayer if you're religious, but that's a technicality. So men, mena. So you, and you. Most languages use different words to address one person or several people. Excuse me. Hi. So in German, when addressing a single person, use du. Du bist mein Kind. You are my child. If you're talking to more than one person, use ihr. So ihr seid meine Kinder. You are my children. Now, some English speakers would use y'all or you guys of this plural form of you. That's I would say it's considered bad English, but it's kind of commonplace now. So, and in some parts of the UK, you could still use as well, but again, that's also bad English. Note that these only work for people you're familiar with, um, friends, family, etc. For others, you would use the formal you, which we teach later in this course. So stay tuned. There's 3 words for you in German. But for now, we're just sticking with du and ihr. So ihr versus er. So if you're new to German, ihr and er may sound confusingly similar, but there's actually a difference. Ihr sounds similar to the English word ear, and er sounds similar to the English word air. If you're imagining British received pronunciation accents, so air and air. Well, I'd say it sounds more. Maybe I'm just saying this because I'm Scottish, but ear sounds like ear in Scottish, and air sounds like air, but with a maybe slightly less pronounced R. Anyway, don't worry if you can't pick up on the difference at first. You may need some more listening practice before you can tell them apart. Also, try using headphones instead of speakers. Well, I'm using speakers so that you can pick up the sounds on the recording. Learn the pronouns together with verb endings. This will greatly reduce the amount of ambiguity. So verb conjugate. So we're now going to get more verb conjugation. So here's a complete table for conjugating regular verbs. So the previous lessons we've come across the singular forms like I, you, he, she, and it, and now we're going to add the we, the you, plural form, and they. So we, you just add n. So wir trinken, the example here. You, plural, informal. Ihr, you just add t. So ihr trinkt. then they, you just add en again, like sie trinken. Notice that the first and third person plurals all have the same ending. And here's the complete table for the irregular verb sein, to be. So I am, ich bin, du bist, er, sie, es ist, we are is wir sind, you plural is ihr seid, and they are, sie sind. You'll learn about the distinction between formal and informal later. It's very easy. So there we go. So that's the conjugation of a regular verb. In some German textbooks, they talk about weak, strong, and mixed verbs. That's just a way of saying like regular and irregular verbs. The weak verbs are all regular, strong and mixed are all irregular, or they're irregular in some tenses and regular. Like trinken is a good example of a mixed verb because it's regular in the present tense, but when you come to the past tense, it becomes irregular. But we'll worry about that when we come to it. So let's practice. And we'll practice without a timer so we can go through all the words in detail. So we are women. Wir sind Frauen. That means we are women. That doesn't make sense at all. We are women. And that's I are women. Yes, none of those make sense at all. So wir sind Frauen.
Das ist ein Junge.
Das
ist
ein
ein Junge.
That is a boy. Das can, as well as being the neuter definite article, can also sometimes mean that. Like if at the start of a sentence, like that is, das ist. We are boys, wir sind Jungen.
Wir sind Frauen und ihr seid Männer.
It's getting too late in the day, I'm starting to get sleepy, so we are women and you are men.
Wir sind Männer und ihr seid Frauen.
Wir sind. Let me just slow that down so we can hear that properly. That was a bit fast.
Wir sind Männer und ihr seid Frauen.
We are men and you're women.
David und Max, ihr seid Männer.
So it's David and Max. You are men. Yeah.
Ihr seid Kinder.
Ihr seid Kinder. That's it. You are children.
Das ist ein Junge.
That is a boy.
Die Jungen sind Kinder.
Die Jungen sind Kinder. Yeah. Most German plurals, you would add n or en to the end. But German has a lot of irregular plurals, so don't take that rule as a given for everything. There's a lot of irregularities in German, but we'll worry about them when we come to them. So the boys are children. We are boys. Wir sind Jungen. Remember to capitalize all your nouns. That's one of the first grammar rules I learned in German, and let's just say I got it wrong a few times, but that's kind of inevitable when it's something you're not used to in your native language. That is a man. Das ist ein Mann. Boys are children. Die Jungen sind Kinder. So there we go. That's it for Basics 2. We're going to go on to the next one, which is phrases. which are always handy if you're. Basic phrases are always handy for whenever you start a language. Things like hello, thank you, goodbye, and all that stuff. So let's crack on. So let's have a look at the tips, see if we're going to learn here, what we're going to learn here. So common phrases. Commonly used phrases are often shortened versions of longer sentences or might be leftovers from some old grammar that has otherwise fallen out of use. That means that their grammar might appear strange. For now, just learn them like you would learn a long word. So here's a first example. V Gates, that's how are you? So there are many ways to ask someone how they're doing. Take how are you? How do you do? How's it going? Just like we do in English. And in German, the most common phrase or idiom uses the verb gehen. So wie geht es dir? But in just polite conversation, you just say wie geht's, just like how are you? Just like how's it going, basically. But the full sentence is wie geht es dir? How are you? And so next, willkommen can be a false friend. In German, willkommen means welcome, as in welcome to our home, but it does not mean welcome as in thank you, you're welcome. The German for the latter is gern geschehen, or just gern, or keine Ursache. Don't know what Ursache means, like, but that maybe it's like just like no worries or no mention it. So here's a good word to learn: Entschuldigung. Sometimes German words can be a mouthful. Later on, you will find that you can take long words apart and recognize the meaning from their elements. So Entschuldigung basically means like excuse me or sorry, but here's how it's formed. Ent is de, Schuld is guilt, ig, e, and gung, noun suffix. So Entschuldigungs literally means something like deguiltification. Take the guilt away from me. It's an interesting way to look at it, but I'll be honest, I've personally never looked at it that way. I've just learned that Entschuldigung as just like a random word. So yeah, that's an interesting little tidbit of information there. Duo. Duo is the name of Duolingo's mascot degree. He will guide you throughout this course. If you make him happy, he'll make you happy. That's kind of goes without saying in any of the language courses here. But anyway, let's practice before I waffle on anymore. So let's practice without a timer so we can go through the. So thanks, bis, see you soon. That's danke, bis bald. Thank you is danke, or danke schön is like thank you very much. Bis bald, bald is the word for soon, and bis is until, so literally thank you until soon. Which means thanks, see you soon. Oh,
Leider nein.
leider,
Leider.
nein.
Nein.
Leider means unfortunately, and nein is no. So unfortunately, no. So another little useless piece of information is in most language the word unfortunately is very long. Like in French, it's malheureusement, and Spanish desafortunadamente. Whereas German, it's just leider. Whereas normally, the German word is a lot longer. Anyway, just thought I'd throw that little piece in there for you.
Leider ja.
Leider ja. Fortunately, yes.
Gern geschehen.
Gern
Gern.
geschehen.
Geschehen.
You're welcome.
In Ordnung. Danke.
In Ordnung is
In
just
Ordnung.
means all right. All right. Thanks.
Nein. Tschüss.
Nein. Nein.
Nein.
No. Tschüss is an informal way of saying goodbye.
Tschüss.
Tschüss. goodbye.
Danke, bis später.
Thanks. Später is later, so this means see you later. Literally means until later, but means see you later.
Bis später.
Ooh, that's very difficult. I wonder what that is.
Bis später.
Oh, that was a tough one.
Leider nein.
Yeah. Unfortunately, no.
Gern geschehen.
Gern
Gern
geschehen.
geschehen.
You are welcome.
In Ordnung.
All right.
Danke, bis später. Danke, bis
später.
später.
Thank you. See you later.
Gern geschehen.
Gern geschehen. You're welcome.
Danke, auf Wiedersehen.
Danke. Auf Wiedersehen. So, thank you. Auf Wiedersehen is a very formal way of saying goodbye. British people will probably be familiar with that with the TV show Auf Wiedersehen Pet. But it's a it's an old sitcom from the 80s about a group of Geordie builders.
Nein, tschüss.
That's no bye.
Ja, bis bald.
Ja, bis bald. Yes, see you soon.
Nein, auf Wiedersehen.
Nein, auf Wiedersehen. No goodbye.
Tschüss, Duo.
Didn't quite hear that.
Tschüss, Duo.
Oh, yeah. I'm still not entirely sure how to spell juice, but I think this is it. Juice duo. Goodbye, duo. Oh, got it right, apparently. Hello, duo. Say hello, duo. You can also say Guten Tag or Guten Morgen, but Guten Tag is just like good day. Guten Morgen is good morning. Guten Abend is good evening. I'm surprised that those phrases haven't come up in this one yet. Yes, please, Joe. Ja, please is bitte. Duo. And bitte is one of those words that can mean quite a few things. You can also say bitte to say you're welcome. And there's probably a list somewhere of like a lot of other meanings of bitte, but mostly it just means please. So there we go. That's some common phrases to get you started in basic German. Oh, yes. Oh, I've reached my daily goal. That's very nice. Thank you. So, there we go. So that's all we're going to learn from that. So that's it for this video. Next video, we're going to plunging straight in with one of the other cases in German, the accusative case and introductions. So that'll be a fun video to look forward to. So that's it for this video. Why did that just change? Sorry, I don't know why that just changed size. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon when we'll look at accusative case and intro. So until then, Dankeschön, schönen Tag und tschüss.